Hello, it's me, Deb, and I've got another sketchbook tour. Yay! It's this cutie pie right here. It's a Talon's Art Creations 160-page sketchbook. I say 160 pages because there's 80 pages, but I use both sides, so it's 160 in my eyes. And this one has the white paper. Usually you find them with a cream toned paper. I was so stoked when I found out that this existed. I had seen it on a Katie Moody video, and she did this full deep dive comprehensive review and tested out this paper versus the regular cream colored paper. Really good video. I will link it below. But I have mixed feelings about it. Did I enjoy my time with this? Yes, I finished it. I mean, it's chunky, it's full, it is full of drawings. I had no problem finishing this, but I did feel a little bit like there was something with the quality of paper. I don't know. It was a little bit less than the regular. I don't really know how to describe it. I'm not gonna do a great job. Sorry for an unsatisfactory explanation, but it's just my feelings. But, you know, we got through it just fine. And a little bit about me. If you are new here, again, my name is Deb, and welcome, nice to have you. This is the 17th sketchbook tour I have done here. So I've got a whole playlist of them, but besides scribbling in my sketchbooks, I am an artist for a living, and I have a stationery and gift business called Debbie Draws Funny, same name as this channel, and I sell directly to customers on my website and wholesale to stores across the US and Canada. My main bread and butter is funny greeting cards, stickers, pins, tote bags, t-shirts, mugs, that kind of thing. So if you want to check out my stuff, I'll pop a QR code up here and you can have a look-see. And if you get something, you're supporting an indie artist, and I truly appreciate it. I also have a Patreon if you want to do some drawing sessions with me. They're really fun. They're really goofy. They're very silly. We do not take things seriously in my drawing sessions. We're very giggly and goofy. That's the jam over there. Anyway, let's get into the sketchbook. Okay, here we are. Talon's Art Creations. White paper sketchbook. Still not sure exactly how I feel about it. I liked it enough to finish it. Let's put it that way. The paper left me kind of feeling meh. I don't know. I don't think it's that different from, let's say, well, this is a much smaller one, but this is the typical paper for the Talon's Art Creations. It's this cream color. Don't know how well you can tell that it's cream colored on camera, but I felt like the paper was a little bit, the only way I can describe it is drier. Does that make any sense? I don't know. It's like when you use any sort of wet medium, well, I don't think Talon's Art Creations are really designed for using wet medium to begin with. I mean, you've got to be very light with your washes, or if you're using maybe gouache or acrylic straight out of the tube, you're okay. But if you're using watercolor or like I use, all my paints are like in a paint palette, like that I've already got prepared, that I put paint, gouache and watercolor in like in 2021 and have barely touched. Like I just re-wet it and use it. So I'm using dried paints a lot of the time. So I'm usually adding a bunch of water. So I can't really do that with this, if you catch my drift. Okay, so real quick, the stickers, 99.5% of these are mine. Yeah. These are my 80s jazz dancers. I think I might have a handful of these left. It just fit perfectly in the spot. I debate whether I should bring this one back or not. I drew this ages ago. I still love it. it still gives me the warm fuzzies. This is a white-breasted nuthatch this is a newer sticker. This is my dancing pumpkin guy. If you are familiar with the CW, I don't know if it was an ad or like a promotional spot. It's from maybe the early 2000s or the 2010s. It's this guy like dancing all goofy in a unitard with a pumpkin head. This is my Draw Weird Things sticker because I do a lot of drawing sessions where we draw weird things. So this is a nod to that. These are some of the weird things that we've drawn, both in my Patreon and here on YouTube. I have a bunch of like free public ones. This is a little egg in an egg cup that says, "I'm fancy AF," and he's got a little top hat and rosy cheeks. Come on, he's adorable. This is in my shop too. All of these are. This is by Sketchbook Scheming. This is by Marcy. She made this when her and her husband, and I believe like they went with a group of friends on a New Haven pizza tour, New Haven, Connecticut, where some of the best pizza in the United States is made and consumed. It's delicious. And then on the back, we have my Weirdo Drawing Club sticker. The Weirdo Drawing Club is my Patreon. It's a $5 tier, and I do an exclusive drawing session every month on there. Well, it's like a video, but like this week actually, we're gonna be doing an exclusive live stream where my patrons picked out the pictures for me, the references to use for drawing. I'm excited, also a little scared, not gonna lie. Okay, so, all right, so cracking open the cover. This is, it's almost no point in numbering my sketchbooks anymore, but I just do because it's a habit. But I also write the dates, so whatever. So this is what I kind of do with my inside covers. I put the number, I put the date that I started and finished it. So I started this on June 12th of this year and completed it on August 28th. I used a bunch of solid paint markers and new Sharpie acrylic paint pens that I gotten. They're juicy and pretty fun. I remember the first couple pages of this, I was really trying to just kind of see how I liked the paper. I was just so stoked that it was white instead of cream colored. And I really was messing around with I had gotten the Sharpie paint markers and I was messing around with those. I just was not feeling them. I just swatched them out here. This was supposed to be like, like a cross stitch type. That's what I was trying. I don't know, I was just coming up with like possible sticker and design ideas. Don't love this page. Again, another page, another spread I don't love. I had just gotten my oil pastels in and I was messing around with that. My solid paint markers, my Sharpie marker. Yeah, solid paint marker, Sharpie paint pen marker. God, so many words to describe these things. And oil pastels. And I was just making a mess, and here's the thing, make bad art, make ugly stuff. Like you have to get it out of your system. You have to get through a lot of ugly, bad stuff to get to the good stuff. I truly believe this. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, I don't know. This was a really fun drawing session. This was in the Weirdo Drawing Club. We do some live, like face-to-face on Discord. So it's like having a FaceTime call. And we did, it's very casual, it's fun, it's silly. But it's really fun to just draw with a group of friends. So what we did for this one was I have a Pinterest board called Fantastic Faces, and I save a bunch of, cool looking people that I want to draw. And we started off drawing this woman. We named them all, we decided. So this was with Melissa and Zan. So I try to write down who I was hanging out with when I do these, but I usually remember. I feel like when you draw, you retain so much more memory of the event that was going on and the emotions with it. I think just because you're using your body, you're using your brain, and you're taking in so much more of the sensory experience, if that, I don't know if that would resonate with you, but it's kind of like when you write something down, you remember it better. Anyway, we drew we started drawing with this lady, then we drew another lady, and then I started calling it like the sassy broads. I'm like, we just drew a bunch of sassy broads. She's fabulous. We named her Cynthia. We named her Birdie, and she has a birdie. Gertie, Maud. Melissa came up with the cutest name, Lil Bit. This is Lil Bit. It was this cute little old lady. She was so adorable and precious. But my problem is I made her look, the way I drew her, she ended up looking like Ross Perot. I will put in a picture of Ross Perot for those of you who are like, who's that? He was the first person I ever voted for president because I was old enough to vote. So it's a real oldie but goodie reference, I guess. We named her Phyllis. We said this woman because she had this super intense blue eyeshadow that she reminded us of Estelle, Joey's agent, Joey Tribbiani's agent. Joey, it's Estelle. I've got an audition for you. I'm referring to Friends, if you're like, what is she talking about? This woman was so adorable and cute, but the way that I made her look, her hair was really frizzed and like a lot of flyaways. But she looked really cute in the photo, but whatever I did to her ended up making her look a little bit like Albert Einstein, so I called her Alberta Einstein. That was a super fun drawing session. It really was. I have very, very fond memories of that. This was an art hang party, and this was one Melissa did. It was from July 18th, and it was funny animal video stills. So she took a bunch of I think it was TikToks, a lot of short videos, I think, and either screenshotted or found still shots of it. And it was like these huskies all, howling at each other. There was a bear on a slide. So I said, he's saying, now what? I really like those drawings. I think that bear he has my heart. A gorilla with a snowball. There was a giraffe kissing a little kid, a puppy sleeping on a duck, a dog with a wig on it that I believe everyone thought looked like John Travolta. If John Travolta was a dog with a wig. I see it. I don't know. It's one of those you had to be there, I guess. But you can be there. You can watch the replay on Melissa's channel. There was a panda eating an apple, a cat with water being poured on it, a corgi on a skateboard. Classic. Love it. It was a fun, cute drawing session. I think partway through I had to leave, and I ended up switching out. I had to leave to pick up my daughter from her work because her shift ended at 8. But I ended up switching. I was using Neocolor 2s and an Aquarelle, the the Stabilo All pencil, which is very fun, except that it does get smudgy. I ended up I sprayed these pages so it stopped smudging. I decided to start using solid paint markers. I like the way these look, actually. I love those solid paint markers, man. That's a dolphin eating ice cubes. Melissa then flipped one of the photos upside down. So it's an upside down chipmunk, but that might as well have been right side up. Everyone who drew the upside down chipmunk did a really good job. I guess it's easier to draw animals upside down than people, I think. It was a cute, fun session. You can watch the replay on her channel, which you should be watching her channel. I highly recommend it anyway. So, And not just because she's my friend, she has good content. These were some sticker design ideas and just kind of fooling around. I did make a sticker of this. I will pop it in here. And it's in my shop now. If you are someone who also doesn't want to drink the paint water, in fact, I've got paint water right here. I'm gonna put the sticker on this eventually. I just got the stickers in, but yeah, how many times have you almost, if you've had like a little cup of paint water, almost drank it because you have your beverage next to it, or dipped your brush into your like cup of tea? I've done it, and I almost did it on a live stream. I was I was painting and I almost dipped it into my tea and I was like, whoa, but I caught myself. So it's creative juice, 100% organic, fresh inspiration and imagination. I've got to work out what I'm gonna do with that. I think I was just doing a clear my head hippy dippy flower, which I usually have some hippy dippy flowers in my sketchbook. That and mushrooms, and yeah. This one I think I had painted, or I did like I was just making like marks with my Neocolor 2s and my solid paint markers. And then I went in with my Stabilo all pencil. And I remember after I outlined some of these, I regretted it. And I was like, I liked it better when it was just the colors. Like it looked kind of like a field of wildflowers, like a really abstract. But I think it looks fine now. But there's a lot of times you draw something and then you hate it in the moment and you have to take time away from it. This is probably from like 2 months ago. But I'm looking at it now going like, it's fine, who cares? I started live streaming my Draw Weird Things With Me videos. Not all of them, but I'll probably still put regular Draw Weird Things With Me videos, but one of the references was this lady with a shrimp hat, and I was doing like a practice live stream, like practicing my setup and like using a timer, using the reference, seeing if I could draw like on camera, talk, all that kind of stuff, which I knew I could do, but I did a lot of practice runs before I felt confident and ready to go live, because it's kind of scary. It was very nerve-wracking for me. Anyway, I did a random street view, came up with this cute little house that was in LA and had this gate that said Hollywood. I thought it was like a really cute house. Random street views can give you such lovely random pictures. It's a good one for references. This was a Weirdo Drawing Club Draw and Hangout on July 22nd. So this was with Melissa, Zan, Louise, and 80. And we went through it. We used, this was another cute, fun one. I've never not had a cute, fun hangout with my patrons in Discord. I mean, it's a precious, lovely time. We just did some random Pinterest photos that I had on my Pinterest boards. Super random, like including this tabloid. It was the Weekly World News. World's fattest cat has world's fattest kittens. And then Bat Boy, of course, classic Bat Boy was in the corner. If you aren't familiar, tabloids were constantly had Bat Boy on it, like a boy that was born and was apparently a bat. These were all like ceramic figurines. Well, this was, I think, like a spoon dish or something, but yeah. And then this was a lady in a hot dog costume that was holding a hot dog, so we called it Hot Dog Squared. And then I had one more page left, so I did this, I forget what the name of this fish is. It's not, is it a swordfish? It has like this beautiful, like rainbow iridescent fin up at the top. It's stunning. But I want to say it's some type of swordfish. This was me testing out making my own granulated watercolors. I just used, it's a long story. I kind of talked about it in my art haul video, but yeah, I was just mixing a bunch of different like watercolors from like my watercolor tubes. And this is a very important ingredient of the watercolors to use, which is the Daniel Smith Imperial Purple. That really helps with the granulation. But making a bunch of different combos, and you know, it did work to make your own granulated watercolors. So, but I talk about it more in that video if you're interested. This one I had actually painted the background of and left alone for weeks. Came back more recently and painted this in there. And I really, really like it. Still like it. Yeah, I like this spread. I like to draw a lot of birds. You're gonna see birds and mushrooms. Mushrooms is another big one. So the background of this is tempera paint sticks. They're just like the cheap ones for like kids. Super fun. It's like drawing or painting with like kind of a, I want to say lip balm or lip gloss. Not lip gloss like the sticky lip gloss, but like yeah, lip balm, chapstick or something. It glides, it's smooth. And then I used my solid paint markers, my Sakura solid paint markers on top of this. The hot pink and the blue. So, and I love this page because it's so colorful. It's raising my serotonin levels just looking at it. Just rainbow colors, just they make me happy. What can I say? This was my very first Draw Weird Things With Me live stream. I was so nervous, so freaked out, and I think 15 to 20 people came, which I could not believe. I was so humbled that I was just like, I figured maybe like 5 or 6 people at the most who like knew I was really nervous and were gonna come and be supportive, but a lot more people than that showed up, and I was just so touched and moved, and they were all lovely and supportive and talkative in the chat, and like, oh my gosh, I am forever grateful. It was like I learned during that live stream, like, it's all gonna be okay. Like, my friends are here and they got my back, and it was nice. So it's too long of a story to get into everything that's here, but I will say Dancing with Cats is a book that I found on Pinterest, like a funny book cover. Turns out it's a real book. So yeah, here's the shrimp hat lady. And during the live stream, I was drawing it, and then I was like, no, this isn't working. So then I redid it, which I managed to get done in like 3-4 minutes. So yeah, Tattoo Me Keith it's quite a funny story. Yeah, I will link the live streams either at the end of the video or below if you want to check them out. They're a lot of fun. This first one was these were just random weird things. Sometimes I do themed stuff, like I pick a theme and kind of stick with it, but I think my favorite is doing random stuff because it's always a fun surprise. This was a gremlin called the Devious Stripe, but we all thought he looked like Jack Black. These are some dolls that I actually found, clown dolls, in a thrift store, and I took a photo of them, and I was pretty sure they were haunted. And then I believe it was Louise or 80, someone had said, I think it was Louise, said that these look like the Jedward twins. And when they shared a picture, I was like, oh my God, it is them. This is from Young Frankenstein. And then I did a preview of what we'd be doing the next time on Draw Weird Things, which was drawing weird medieval marginalia. So you're gonna be seeing that soon. These were I was just jotting down like some ideas for stickers and things like that. Just some ugly scribbly flowers. Oh, this was a very fun art hang party. I have this page. This was build a retro party scene. So it was all like 60s and 70s, like party pictures. Like you could tell it was like people's personal like house parties. So cute. It I don't know, it gives me all the feels, that kind of stuff. Like looking at old photos, like nostalgic for a time I wasn't around in the 60s. I was around in the 70s, but I was just a wee little babe. So, but just, I don't know, it's like, it reminds you of maybe like old family members, people that maybe aren't with us anymore. I don't know, it felt very special, but it was a lot of fun. So, yeah. So it's basically like Melissa puts a bunch of different pictures up, like here's a picture of people cooking in the kitchen. Here's a picture of like a table at a party with like all the food on it. You know, your snack table, people dancing, people having a drink, people doing the limbo. They're not all in the same picture. What she does is puts them out one at a time and you build the scene. So everyone's scene looks a little bit different. I have one more spread from this, but it's in my other sketchbook because I decided to switch and like go real big. So I did 2 of them here and the third one is in the other sketchbook. This is a page where I was testing out alcohol markers that I got, which I kept accidentally calling alcoholic markers. My kids kept laughing at me because I'm like, these alcoholic markers, and they're like, alcoholic markers? They're alcohol markers. I got them for 12 bucks at TJ Maxx, super cheap, a great deal. There were 36 markers. Turns out I don't like them so much. I actually shipped them off to one of my art friends, Stephanie, today. So, because I know she uses alcohol markers, and I was just like, do you want these? Because I don't like them and they're just gonna sit here and collect us. So sending those to her, along with the Artist's Way book, because, well, if you watched my video about that, you know how I feel about the Artist's Way. But I was testing, I used the Tempera paint sticks and then was testing out the Stabilo All pencil compared to the Faber-Castell 14B. I like the way the Stabilo All looks because it's creamier when you're working with it and it is like nice and dark. The Faber-Castell 14B is more gray. It just kind of looks like one of these pencils you use at school. It really, I don't know, it doesn't feel very special when you're using it, but it does work great if you have, there's a loud booming car going by. Don't know if you can hear it. Okay, the bass is pumping, we hear ya. We get that all day. The whole house is shaking. The whole house is vibrating from that. But the nice thing about the 14B is if you have like damp watercolor, you can still write on it. You can still draw and do outlines with it. Just more messing around, swatching, messing, just making a mess. Making a big mess, that's what this is. More mess. I found my rainbow pencil, so I like went crazy with it. But I don't have a sharpener big enough for that big fat pencil, so I gotta get one of those. Oh yeah, this. Ooh, this. Okay, I'm back. Had to run out to go pick up a kid. Okay, so this page, I actually did this quite recently. Like, it would have been, I think, the day I finished, or maybe the day before, drew the peacock. The background I had painted, I had this, if you can tell, this shimmery gold paint, along with some, these are just cheap, like, acrylic paints. And, but the background, like, without the bird or anything, I just loved the background so much, I kept it for a long time. I like didn't want to touch it. I just thought it looked really pretty. And then hello, Phoebe. And then right before I finished the sketchbook, I decided to just, you know, have a look at some birds and used my Sharpie acrylic paint pens for this. So, but I like it. I think it looks really pretty. I really like the way this turned out. I feel like that's the way it goes. Like when I'm casually approaching something, I end up falling in love with it. Like I really, you know, like when I'm not gonna film it or wasn't planning on sharing it, like I end up loving like this and this and this. I mean, definitely some of my favorite pages. This is another thing where I had painted a background and drew on top of it later. Can't really see it all that well, but it's a squirrel and some birds. So I know it really blends into the colors on the background, but that's what it is. I tried to like fill it in with other colors and then leave it light here, but yeah, I don't mind. This is another one I came back to. I mean, these were all done like right before I finished the sketchbook because I painted all these, you know, like pre-blominated the backgrounds, you know, just using up old paint. And I have these, they're Posca type markers, but they're dupes. They're not the real deal. And they constantly get clogged. So I actually took out the tips of it that you pump and was like trying to pour the paint out, but the little ball blocked it, so I couldn't really get out. So I was just taking the marker tip and just kind of rubbing it all over. So this is just a mix of different things. And then this is my cat Luna. So I just did this kind of a character version of her in a way, but I think it turned out cute. And I used the solid paint markers for that. Another background that I had painted long before and put like just smears of different stuff. This ends up looking like it's supposed to be a part of the drawing, but it's not. This was already there. This is a picture of me and my husband that I used as a reference. I don't think that looks like me at all. I'll pop the reference up if I remember. I think that looks a lot like my husband though. They were just loose drawings. So, and that was one, again, that I did. This one, it was a background that I never ended up drawing on top of. Should we do it right now? No, I'll just leave it. I have already moved on to other sketchbooks. Again, just cheap acrylic paint and then like Neo colors but I don't think I ended up touching this because I think I was just like, I really loved the way it looked. Kind of looks like feathers or something. So yeah, I had another background here that I had done, but then I did like a negative space technique and made this butterfly. And then I must have used I think I used a black Neo color and then added water. Yep. Ooh, I forgot about this. I love this spread. I did have a painted background of this. You can barely tell. But yeah, and I had used one of my Prismacolor pencils and just kind of filled in. I think I used Neo colors and the pencil, but I think my favorite part about this was when I was just trying to fill in the background and started putting the pencil in all different directions, and it kind of made like a cool unintentional pattern. So I like this. So this was another background I had done. I had pre-painted, like, there were a few. I think this might be the last one actually, so never mind. I was gonna say there's more. So that's, you know what it was? I think we were going out of town. I didn't write the dates on these. I think we were going, that my husband and I were, is it just us for our anniversary, or is it when we were going with the kids to Connecticut? I honestly don't remember this moment. I feel like it was before our anniversary little weekend away. I painted, I just made like, you know, a bunch of underpaintings with the idea in mind that while we were away, I could work on top of those. And then never did until like I was getting close to finishing the sketchbook, and then I went back to the middle of this and started doing all this. So this, I think these are so cute. This was from an introvert drawing club session with Beth Spencer. She's on Substack. I will link it in the description so you can check it out. I became a paid subscriber so I could access the old live drawing sessions that she does, which they're all really cute. And if you have a chance to go to a live drawing session, I highly recommend it. This was awkward animal headshots, I think. So it was taking like human body and then doing and picking an animal and using it for the head. So it was like these, it was just really cute, really fun. So it's a bunny with, you know, his head on a man's body, and this cute little gorilla on top of this woman with a really frilly, pretty top. Yeah. It was a very cute session. This is playing around with the alcohol markers. I remember doing this and like absolutely loathing the way this all looked, even though I was just messing around. I was trying to see how things blended and how they went together. They bleed big time. I mean, I knew that they bled on the back page, but I was not expecting them to not only bleed on the next page, but on the back of the next page too. So I was like, what is the point of these? So I know that they make these like protective sleeve type things that you can use in between your pages to protect the next page from things like this, the bleed through from, you know, here onto here. I'm not that committed that I didn't like these enough to go seeking all that out, but I was just honestly messing around with them. I wanted to see how they blended. I wanted to see what all the fuss was about, because I've seen people make really beautiful art with alcohol markers. Like Lil Star Nerd comes to mind, makes incredible art with it. But I was like, yeah, I did I looked up animation backgrounds from like cartoons, like Warner Brothers cartoons and stuff like that. Which I think they turned out cute and all that, but I was like, honestly, what's the difference between this and like a Tombow marker, which is a watercolor brush marker? I don't see the benefit of alcohol markers versus, well, except that you can't, I mean, if you got it wet, it's not gonna blend, like it's not gonna run, but I didn't find them all that blendy. I you know, cause I did do some blending, but I don't know, I didn't find them all that impressive. I did not understand what the hubbub was. I was like, why are these better? I don't think they're, in my opinion, for how I use markers, I thought they end up making a mess, and I see people make wonderful things, but they just, I was not into them. But, and I think I gave it a nice try, but I put them away and had no desire to get them back out again. Also, the colors on the markers, on the caps, seemed to lie. Like they seemed pretty different from the actual pen color. Another art hang party, so this was August 8th, and it was all candy plus ice cream, but yeah, it was cute. I think, yeah, that's all I did at that time. I continued later. I think I had to leave, so I couldn't do the whole thing, and I did the replay later. This was the first Draw Weird Things medieval marginalia live stream. So this was a fun one. I used my Tombow markers for this one. So many weird, goofy things. The medieval art is just, it is something else. Just some of the faces, but love this guy. Love this guy. Yeah. It was a good time. And the stuff that, like, everyone else's drawings, Smarmy Lion and the Sneaky Boy, Melissa made, she made a GIF of this, like a little animation where she has like the snail shell like uncurl, and I think she makes his feet walk. Beep 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 beep. People just, I mean, doing a live stream and then seeing what other people drew at the same time as you, it's very mind-blowing, because I'm like, I'll feel like I'm just rushing and getting through these things, and then I see other people's work, I'm like, wow, you should be hosting this, because mine is not even nearly as good as yours. Not that it's not a competition. I know that my work is not going to be great when I'm doing a live stream or when I'm filming myself drawing, because the pressure is there and I feel my nerves are, you know, when nobody's looking, I'm usually taking my time and I do a lot nicer work. Yeah, so I continued this later. Yeah, the art hang party. I can draw better, I think, during an art hang party, because I'm not hosting it. But I just did the replay, and you know, sometimes I'll pause, do a little bit longer. I don't think I paused really for these. I probably did for that, or I took a little more time because I used watercolor for these two. Yeah, it's really different when you are a guest on a live stream, or, you know, a viewer, I should say, not a guest. When you're hosting the live stream, you are manning a lot of stuff, and it's a bit more stressful. So it takes practice. Charlotte Hamilton and Melissa Martin did a sketch and draw session together. It was a Zoom meeting. So it's Char's drawing session, and she invited Melissa to like co-host it with her. And I went to that, and it was like basically like a love letter to Toronto. This, I actually did most of it. Oops, oopsie, hold on. I did most of that in, yeah, most of that was in this sketchbook. So, yeah. But the last page I did in this sketchbook, and I used my my homemade Moon Glow dupe, my copy of Moon Glow, which is sort of a granulating watercolor, a homemade one. This is the is this the Draw Weird Things with Me, or the Weirdo Drawing Club? No, this was Draw Weird Things with Me, yeah. Because I was starting to think, I'm like, wait a second, I just uploaded this video. Yeah. So this is a Draw Weird Things with Me video for August 2024. A very cute, funny one. Terrifying as well, but yeah, this is a goofy one. And people are starting to do it and upload on the Discord their drawings, which is so much fun. So much fun to look at. Yeah, that video, I will have it linked below. It's a fun one. Hot sauna pants. A nose warmer. Oh my gosh, so the Perceive Me Not poncho. There were a lot of interesting things here. This was another live stream on the 14th. The Draw Weird Medieval Things with me. So I just kind of kept the theme for the rest of the month. Kinda, I did keep the theme for the rest of the month. All sorts of weird things. Called this the Judgmental Hand because it was like a sleeve with feet and a pointy finger. Like, what is happening? You could ask that of all of these. An ashamed elephant. And there's no ear on this elephant. It's like, it's all so weird. People throwing up frogs, and the frogs looked so delighted. They were just like, wee, freedom. It was just so goofy. Yeah, and this one I just decided to do like an underpainting, like pre-blobinate the page, as Sophie McPike says, and use my brush pen on top of it, because I found it's much easier to draw with one tool. Use one tool and keep it simple. It really, yeah, it really helped. We said this guy looked like medieval Yoda, and that this looked like a Darth Vader fish dude, and then Marcy had said in the chat, call him Carp Vader. And I was like, oh, that is so good. A cute little dog wizard, this weird like octopus tentacle legs, and the head is like in the hips. Oh my God, just crazy stuff, crazy stuff. This was Art Hang Party Olympics. I showed up, I think I was late to this one. That was on the 15th. Some of these I thought turned out pretty good. I thought she looked good. He was okay. The swimmer, not so great. This one was like a really tough, it was like someone doing the butterfly and you're getting an underwater shot. But I was like, you know what? I think I did pretty good for, you know, having what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? I don't, Melissa keeps them pretty short. So you have to make quick decisions and work fast. But I was using Poscas and I was like, you know, not bad, not bad. Yeah, so, but it was a lot of people drawing. Oh yeah, this, I was trying to work on self-portraits because once a month, or I don't know if we missed 1 month, but ever since I reopened my Patreon, we do the Weirdo Drawing Club. We do self-portraits once a month. We meet to do that. We also meet and do like just live casual drawings with like weird things. But yeah, so I was working on self-portraits in practice to do a self-portrait for the live drawing session that we were gonna do together on Discord. So I was doing my best to kind of get warmed up for that. The background of this is actually these tempera paints that I got from the dollar store. They're very, they're low pigment. I mean, they're pretty translucent, I guess I'd say. They're not, you know, it's not like an acrylic. It's very, it's almost like a gloss. I don't know. This does not look like me. I don't think that looked like me. I mean, that was like closer than this one. The eyes are like too low and too far apart. That I thought looked pretty close to me. The photo I was using, the angle is a little bit weird, but that does not look like me. That, I look like the Joker. I was trying to show like, you know, how your skin's getting pulled up, but it just ended up making my eyes look really like slanted and my mouth really slanted. It didn't look right. Yeah, the hand, not so bad, but tried it in watercolor, and this looks like some really disappointed, angry version of me, I guess. I don't think the eyes don't really, I don't know, not me. This was like, I was just I think I was going through a video and trying to, because I'm not in the habit of like taking lots of selfies, but I do have a lot of videos on YouTube. So I kind of went through and paused it. And I think I was like, had just like a neutral face and then like I was mid-sentence. I think that looks more like me than this does. So I said miserable doppelganger and me and my big mouth. This is me in the morning with just my glasses on and looking very tired. It's not the most flattering, but I feel like it's pretty honest. This, I feel like I look like an old man in this one. I don't think it looks enough like me. Like I'm trying to do honest self-portraits. Like if, you know, any lines in my face and stuff like that, like I try to put in, I don't try to edit that out. But the problem is sometimes it looks over-exaggerated. So I think self-portraits are really, they're not easy. They're very challenging. So I started doing this kind of like, I did this like every day for a while. So wait, so I did a whole bunch. This was the 19th, that was the 19th. Continue that, and then I was doing these pretty quick. So this was the next morning. This was, it's a thumbnail of mine where I'm sitting with like my, you know, like my head resting on my hand, but the angle was like, the camera was lower, so it's looking up, and it was, I just couldn't get it. I thought that one might be a little bit closer. Yeah. This was, again, the background was using these, and then I filled all this in later. I just only had this like as a pencil drawing before. This was a video that Zan had made, shh, on the down low, don't tell anybody, because some of us are begging her to teach us her ways, because she's an incredible artist and just so skilled. I mean, her work is phenomenal. Zan Blackburn, if you don't know. Yeah, so she had found this, oh, I forget what it was, but it was some kind of like a badger, some kind of a badger, or, you know, and it was this photo, and she was showing us a method of like what, just one method that she sometimes uses, which I won't go into because in case she releases it as a class or something, I don't want to like give it all away. But it was a very interesting lesson. I had never heard of this method before. It was brand new to me, and Melissa had seen it too. Zan gave us like a little preview, and we were just like, we both had like never heard of this before. So, and she claims that she did not invent the method, that she learned it from someone, but she doesn't remember who. And we're like, we're just gonna say you invented it. But then I went back later and I added some, these aren't solid paper. I think these are just Neocolors. Yeah, and used my brush pen. Another Draw Weird Medieval Things live stream. So was this the last? I think this might have been the last one. I think this was the last one, or second to last. Not sure. When I started, my plan was like do one for each page, but I forgot during the live stream and I made him small and then did this, and then I was like gonna fit other ones in here but didn't have quite enough room. And then it occurred to me like, wait a minute, I had planned out, because I only had so many pages left, that I was going to do one for each page. And then I ended up just going this route. I think that's what, or maybe I'm thinking of another live stream. Who cares? Yeah, this one, this twisty-turny guy. Yeah, I called this Naked and Not Afraid of Death. It's such a weird, yeah, these, they were all weird. This one kind of looked like Eeyore to me. Okay, so this was the day that we did the self-portrait hangout. We call them sunset self-portraits. long story short, basically I saw this video where someone was talking about, you know, if you don't like the way that you look, think about when you know, the way you look in photos. So think about when you take a photo of a sunset and then you look at your photo and you go, that didn't do it justice. Well, you are the sunset in your photos. Like, no camera is ever gonna do you justice and also capture all the wonderful, amazing things about you. So really, in these sunset self-portrait things that we do in the Weirdo Drawing Club live drawing sessions, the little Discord live drawings, it's really, you know, just trying to, it gets pretty personal and deep, you know? Not that we have to get like, you know, share our deepest, darkest stuff, but we do end up like talking about our insecurities and you know, things that, you know, are pretty personal. So it's always like a good, kind of like a really healing drawing group. Like I don't, it's, yeah, it's something special and I enjoy it. This one I thought, when I was doing it, I was like, this is probably the best self-portrait drawing I've done. I didn't think it looked exact, I didn't have my exact likeness or anything. I think the eyes are too small. I think I shortened my head. I think maybe my head needs to be a little longer, but I think like here was pretty good. I think the eyes, had they been a little bigger and closer together, that it would have been a pretty good likeness. This looked a lot like the photo. I think it looked pretty close to the photo that I took. So I was pleased with the results. The photo is, when you take a photo with your cell phone, the angles get weird. You just end up looking a little more, not fisheye lens. I don't know. It's a little wonky, the angles. So the photo isn't, it's like, you know, it's me, but it doesn't look very much like me, like I would look straight on. So, but this does look pretty much like the photo. So I was pleased with how it turned out. This was the art hang party replay of the Build-A-Camp scene, because I think I couldn't make that. I only ended up doing the first half of it, but I thought it turned out pretty cute. It was the same kind of idea as the retro party, where Melissa shows different photos and you build the scene. So like, here's a cabin, here's, you know, they're cooking on the fire, here's some dogs, someone playing a guitar, picnic table, you know, and then you build your own little scene. Okay, so Ellie, also known as the Lazy Redhead, she was doing a video where she had taken pictures of these beautiful pansy flowers, and it looked like a starry night. It was like this deep, deep purple and this bright magenta, but there were these white spots all in it, and the spots, they almost look like they were glowing. They look lit up. Oh my gosh, really beautiful. So I tried to do it with watercolor, which of course doesn't work great on this paper. I thought that ended up looking pretty cool. So I tried it first here. It didn't really turn out great. Tried it there, didn't turn out so great. I thought this ended up looking really cool, even though it just all ran together. I just thought it was kind of a cool effect. This one turned out the best. It looked better when it was wet. I feel like it's always the case with watercolor. It's like it looked better before it dried. What I did was I did the pink and purple, and then I added, I think it was it a Posca? No, it was the white Sharpie acrylic pen. And when I put that on there, it kind of bloomed and turned out pretty cool. Does it look exactly like the photo? No. This was continuing that introvert drawing club session with the awkward animal headshots. This guy with his incredible mustache. I think what you were supposed to do, you were supposed to do the person's body and do the animal head, but the reference photos that she gave, it was like, there was this man with a suit and I think it was an owl, But I was like, this man's mustache was just so amazing that I was like, no, I'm flipping it. So the raccoon in this dress, you know, but I have this super messy background here. That makes it a little bit hard to see everything, but there's something I really love about that. It's just like so textured and wild and crazy. Then I did it just on a plain paper. I think this one turned out so cute. Like I didn't appreciate it when I did it because I was like working on it and then like looking at it later. But he's so cute. This was actually, it was a yearbook photo of Ice Cube. I didn't realize that at first until Beth Spencer had made mention of it. And I was like, and I'm taking a closer look at his face because I was so like enamored by like the popped collar and the jerry curls that I wasn't even paying attention to his face. And then upon closer inspection, I'm like, oh my God, it is Ice Cube. So it was his, I guess, high school yearbook photo. And then like the option was, I think, a cat or a dog or something. So I did the cat. So that's her little logo, is the Introvert Drawing Club. This is it's a bit of an inside joke with my with the people in my Discord. The patrons who it all started with Zan constantly saying like, I'm a rebel snail, because during a live drawing session, if it's timed and it's very short amounts of time, 2-3 minute drawing set, like 2-3 minute drawing, like you have a reference for 2 to 3 minutes to look at and draw from, and you have to work fast. Usually she takes way longer. She'll like go back and like take her sweet time and make these amazing masterpieces. So she kept referring to herself like as a snail, and then like she's a rebel snail, and then like some other people in the Discord were like, yeah, sometimes I take my time, I'm a rebel snail too. So it became a joke, and so I drew like, you guys must belong to the Rebel Snail Club, and it's like a snail hitting the pause button. So it's just like, it's a little bit of a inside joke, but now you know what it means. Love the way my horse turned out here. I think it worked so well. This is continuing, you know, the Introvert Drawing Club session. Turned out so cute. Looks like it really goes well with this dainty shirt. She's just, you know, such a lady. And then we have this lovely lady. It was a gorilla and like some very like proper lady, but the gorilla had this like frown on her face. So I incorporated that because also, you know, she's wearing this tight corset. Wouldn't you have a frown? Your ribs would be hurting. Oh, I forgot about this one. I thought this one turned out cute. We had 10 minutes for each one, by the way. So I just followed the 10 minutes for these. And for this one, I used these Sharpie markers, which I did that here and here. The other one, I think I used I did some Sharpie, some solid paint marker. But I really like the way the owl turned out. It just looks like so fluffy. Like, I just want to get in those feathers. Oh, and if you care to know, the man in the suit that she used for the reference photo, not the flamingo, but the actual human that was used for the bottom part of the body, was Mr. Rogers' school photo. So that was a nifty little detail. Here's another messy page of just like the tempera paint sticks that I smooshed around, and then I drew on top of with the Sakura solid paint marker. So just more birds, but they kind of blend in, but I think they look pretty cute. They're pretty cute. But I mean, I have like a lot of fun with these kind of pages. They're messy and crazy and colorful, but a lot of fun. Okay, so I lied before. This is the final Draw Weird Things With Me live stream. It's gotta be. Yeah, it's gotta be. And I tried to plan out that I was going to finish the sketchbook with this one because I was actually like counting and seeing, I'm like, do I have enough pages to finish? Like to be able to do the live stream all the way through without switching sketchbooks, and I did, but I ended up having a little bit to spare. So this was the last one. I think I did some of my best drawings here. I did colored pencil this time. So since this was like my fourth, I think this is the fourth live stream I've ever done. So I was feeling way more comfortable, you know, just getting more in the groove of doing it. So yeah, but it's a good one. I'm not making these up. I mean, this is how these things look. Like a snail with teeth, like grimacing, and this like really surprised, fearful frog. So I called it the salty snail. And this was like a dog. It looked like a Labrador retriever mixed with a dolphin, so I called it a dogfin. And then this fish with like human arms that were Frankensteined on, like arms that look like fish fins. Don't ask. And messy Alec Baldwin, according to Louise. Somehow Louise had tuned in, or she was watching the replay of the live stream. I was talking about how the following week I was going to be doing Beetlejuice for the theme, and this was on screen, and I mentioned something about Alec Baldwin, and she thought I said messy Alec Baldwin. It's a whole thing. And now Alec Baldwin memes are living rent-free in the Discord. He's making many appearances there. And I said, well, you know, like, what's the difference between him and the way Alec Baldwin looks now? It looks pretty roughed up and messy. I did a little practice with a picture of George Costanza, if you can tell that that's him, with his big fur hat. It's like a big Russian fur winter hat. Yeah, so because we had our Melissa and I did a live drawing session called the Free Draw Frenzy. The replay is up on her channel, but it was all Seinfeld themed. So, and I will probably do a Draw Weird Things Seinfeld theme live stream on my channel at some point, because I have so many crazy Seinfeld reference photos. So I was just doing a little practice run because I knew that was coming up, and I was feeling a little anxious about drawing so many people. So I was like, felt like I needed to practice. And then I found this was the last spread, and I found a picture on Pinterest of these adorable little baby chicks with those paper cupcake liners around them for skirts. It's like a whole mess of them, but I just picked out a few and made a spread of it. And they're just so sweet and cute, aren't they? Adorable. And this is just the messy. This is like when I need to pump a Posca marker or like try out stuff and clean off a brush. That's what happens on the back, always. Yeah, so it's a thick one. It's pretty thick. It's a lot going on here. And now that I've gone through it, it's like this is how it rests now. So yeah, it's puffed up. It's puffed up now that we flipped through. There's a lot in here. So, but a lot of fun memories, a lot of good stuff. So, I mean, I'm proud of some of the stuff that I've done in here, but also I just, have a lot of fond memories attached to a lot of the drawing sessions. And yeah, so because a lot of them are meeting with friends and doing live streams and going to live drawing sessions, and it's a lot of fun stuff. So yeah. All right, so there you have it. Let me know your thoughts about, I don't know. I have nothing prepared. I literally just filmed the intro and I'm going straight into the outro just so I can have them filmed together. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts. Let me know what kind of sketchbook you like to use. If you have any recommendation, I'm always up for trying new things. I have heard that the, what was it called? The origami is some good stuff I should look into. So let me know if you have experience using that. I've heard this from both Melissa Martin and Beth Spencer, and I believe Charlotte Hamilton was using one in a drawing session and really liked it. So if you have used one, let me know. When I looked it up once, there were so many options, I got overwhelmed and then just like closed the windows and closed the computer windows and walked away. I was like, I don't know what to buy. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for hanging out and watching and all that stuff. And if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so before you skedaddle on out today. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.